Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am very excited to be here with my dear friend, Lori Schafer. She is currently the CEO of Digital Wave Technology, and today we're going to discuss the benefits of PIM for brands, and we'll decipher what that is for those of you who don't know, and retailers. And we'll talk about some of the key trends in its evolution, including digital asset management, automation, product experience management, enterprise solutions, and headless commerce, all in 15 minutes. Lori, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Deborah. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and, talk shop with you and, explore ways for our industry to improve.
So let me ask you, right? You have, continued to impress me in terms of always being ahead of the curve, especially as it relates to, kind of AI. As I had known PIM in my past life, if you will, it was a technology solution that was kind of, ready to be updated. Can you tell us what's happened and bring us into current day?
Sure, absolutely. Well, first, just a quick little explanation of who our company is. Digital Wave Technology just goes short by Digital Wave. And we are a company that we're a software as a service company, but we are also staffed by all individuals that know this industry, retailers, wholesalers, and consumer brands. We know the space extremely well, and we're a very experienced staff. So while we're a software as a service company, we really get to know your business and we understand, the landscape that people are in. We named it Digital Wave because we think it's very appropriate for the times right now in the fact that technology is happening faster than anybody can keep up with. And we want to give people the opportunity to catch that wave. And to catch that wave, you need to be able to, know how to apply the technology to your benefit as a company. We focus mainly on Omnichannel, and we start with all things product. So right now, you mentioned PIM, Product Information Management. That is something that we've greatly taken to the next level, if you will. We'll talk about that. And our job is really to give customers the best possible experience in their shopping journey when they interact with products, whether that be in brick and mortar or in any kind of a digital venue.
We're throwing around kind of many acronyms, right? Like PXM, Product Experience Management. What does that mean to you, and how has that changed over time?
Okay, so first of all, if we start with Product Information Management, or PIM, PIM's a software it's been around for decades that provides companies with a single location, if you will, for centralizing and standardizing product data and related assets. Traditionally, it's kind of been more of an IT system run by IT. That has all changed dramatically with Omnichannel. Nowadays, when you think about it, everything you need to put products into, online is very different data than you needed that an ERP would capture. For example, you need attributes, all kind of attributes. You need romance copy to tell the product story. You need digital assets, various images, videos, etc. And what's happened with that is that PIM has advanced to be much more of a marketing and merchandising type system. And what we mean by that is that, companies, still believe it or not, most companies don't have a product information management system, and they need to, because you're managing sometimes hundreds of thousands of SKUs. And it's just a tremendous amount of data that companies are trying to do with Excel. And it is extremely inefficient. It's extremely error prone. And these days, all of that can be automated. We've started with product information management. We've advanced it to something that we call product experience. And the difference is that now we have embodied in all of the digital asset management capabilities as well to make sure the digital assets look just right. So those are the product images. We can edit videos. It's an enterprise system with high security. It's workflow driven. So each user, product journey through a business goes through a lot of people. It drives the workflow to say this person needs to attack this job next. And basically, in addition to that, we've now added on a tremendous amount of artificial intelligence, which has, we can talk in more detail if you'd like to, but that's made it very, very efficient. So this whole process, which was very heavy in terms of number of humans you needed to do it, and error prone with Excel, et cetera, is now very streamlined with all this automation so that you can get products to market much faster and so that the customer has a much better experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. I think one of the things that we've, with return rates as high as they are, and kind of industry, I would say numbers around apparel, footwear, accessories are in the 40% range. That certainly comes down when you're shopping through different channels. But to me, having the embedded video and enough images, and like you said, I think romance copy is great, right? I think we also want to have people know what they're buying before they buy it, so there's a much less likelihood of return. Can you talk about, I look at that as almost kind of like a sustainability angle or opportunity. How are you seeing kind of improved copy lead to changes in consumer behavior?
Yeah, so a couple of ways. First of all, when you think about, I want to stress one thing as well, which I did not mention, which is there's copy on the website, but we also syndicate or publish out to all social channels that a product's on, as well as marketplaces. So everything from, publishing out to an Amazon, a Rakuten, Alibaba, other marketplaces, a Best Buy, a Target, et cetera, as well as, when you tell a product story on Instagram, it's mostly images with a little bit of text. It's very different than when you tell it on TikTok. And likewise, more immersive technologies like the metaverse, or AI, AR, VR, augmented reality, all of those require a different format. And we also automate that whole process. So when you talk about how it's, changing consumer behavior somewhat, first and foremost is giving the consumer everything they need about the product to make the best possible choice. So, making sure that all of the description about, dimensions or weight or size or feel of the fabric, all those things add up. And that requires, again, a lot of what are called product attributes. But basically, that's going to make sure that the consumer knows what they're getting, and that's going to streamline returns. We've got one customer I can think of off the top of my head who their first priority was reduce returns. And it was really about getting that right content. And then in addition, what we call the romance copy, which you described, which is telling the story, making that product sound like, hey, I got to buy this. And the automation of that, it's hard for most humans to write. Writing is not something everybody's good at. And yet, what we've found is with artificial intelligence now, we can literally write a more exciting, better description and give the product excitement, better romance copy than a human can write in about, a hundredth of the time. I mean, it's a split second, and it gives you different choices of romance copy. And our customers are saying, my God, we never had it this good.
So with some of these changes and the, if you will, reskilling and upskilling and, really kind of having, Digital Wave as a partner, what have you seen as some of the success stories that, that we should focus on?
You mean as examples or examples of, yeah. So I could think of, depending on how much time we have, I'll give you one to start with, one consumer, a retailer wholesaler brand combination that's a global brand with their own stores, also a wholesaler to other retailers. And, in this case, they, first of all, just wanted to become more efficient in their process. They were using Excel, they were using old legacy systems to try to paste all this product data together. So step one, and this is over a two and a half year time frame, so I want to give you the time frame. In the first few months, they got our basic product information hooked up, connecting the ERP to the e-commerce system, and really getting that product workflow streamlined. And then they kept adding additional systems so that Digital Wave sits as the underpinning, if you will, of all things product, and it connects all systems in the company, both internal, back office, as well as external and digital commerce together, so that all that information flows very quickly. They also are doing it in real time. So that allows them, for example, with their e-commerce system, they said, why don't we make it headless? Because that way, by being headless, all of the heavy grinding in the background could be done by Digital Wave, and it makes the consumer experience much better because that website's faster. And again, we talked about eliminating returns, speed to market greatly improved. And I think the most important thing that all this did was, again, back to, it made them much, much more efficient. And they were able to take the capital that they were spending on all of this background work that was being done, manual labor, and they were able to free up that capital, reskill those individuals and put them into more compelling tasks that needed to be done, and free up capital that they were then able to invest in marketing. And as a result, their overall e-commerce and digital commerce channels increased by a couple $2 billion in a matter of a couple of years. So it's an amazing story. We've got others with retailers and other brands as well. Everybody focuses on a different thing, but it comes down to efficiency, speed to market to get the products out as quickly as possible, and tell the most compelling story about those products.
And one question I have as you talk about this is, like, who internally owns this? Because it's such, right? I mean, there's a marketing angle, there's a commerce angle, there's a merchandising angle. Who owns this?
Great question. It's unfortunately for us, the key is to find the champion, if you will. Oftentimes it is, nowadays it's getting easier. It's a chief digital officer, if there is one in place, because they own the business side of Omnichannel. Sometimes there's an Omnichannel officer. In more traditional companies, it's oftentimes chief marketing officer or head merchant. So it's any one of those, but it's a business play. IT is critical because it's an IT system, but it's no longer owned by IT. It is owned by the business because of the kind of business results that can be achieved.
No, it's fascinating. I feel like we've found the phone for 2 minutes, but I'm I know that we need to wrap up. So we've just scratched the surface. Lori is, everyone is kind of learning about this, thinking about it. What is, if you were to kind of summarize it in a few sentences, what's the most important kind of takeaway as they're starting to think about how they could, utilize this in their organization if they aren't already?
First, I'm thinking, because there's a lot of different things, but I'll summarize it as, number one, if you want to delight your customers with a great product experience, if you will, or experience online, this is the way to do it. If you want to accelerate your speed to market, so getting products to market faster and not having them caught up somewhere where an image wasn't taken, or someone forgot to write the romance copy, or there's missing images, this is the way to do that. If you want to expand distribution, this is a way to very quickly open new digital channels, new marketplaces, new social channels. And if you want to expand internationally, this is also a great way to do it because it automatically does language translation, and you can expand internationally on any of these digital channels much faster. So again, delighting customers, bringing products to market faster, and expanding distribution are all things that I think Digital Wave can help with, or any of these companies that are specialized in this area.
Thanks, Lori. Thanks as always for making us smarter in a topic that is, I think, really on the tips of so many people's tongues right now, especially as we're moving into this slowly but surely this cookieless world, and everyone's trying to get more eyeballs. Thank you so much, and looking forward to what's next. Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
All right, you too.